Hi everyone, Guillaume here. Welcome back to our video series on the top 3 strategies that property investors in the Property Filter community are using right now and doing pretty well from it. In the first video, we talk about property wholesaling, which was all about creating a consistent cash flow by sourcing at scale. Today, we're diving into the second strategy, which we call vendor collaboration. This is a cash multiplier strategy that's ideal for investors who have some funds and want to grow their capital faster. We're going to explore how you can partner with vendors using techniques like JVs or assisted sales to flip properties successfully. So what is vendor collaboration and why is it powerful right now? At its core, this strategy is about working with vendors to create mutually beneficial deals where everyone wins. Instead of just buying a property outright, you collaborate with the vendor either by forming a JV or using an assisted sale agreement. This means you can flip the property, add value, and split the profit without needing to invest all the upfront cash yourself or having to pay any stamp duty. It's a game changer for those looking to multiply their funds. Let's dive into 2 methods you can use under the vendor collaboration: assisted sales and vendor JV. Here's a quick example to show you how it works in practice. One of our Property Filter members, Mark, recently completed an assisted sale where he partnered with a vendor who had a property that needed some work. The vendor didn't have the funds or the know-how to renovate the property, and the property was stuck on the market at a high price. So instead of walking away, Mark proposed an assisted sale. He used his own fund to refurbish the property, increase its market value, and once the sale has gone through, they split the profit 50-50. Mark didn't have to put any of huge capital investment upfront, had no finance costs, no fees, and the vendor got a better price than they would have if they sold it on the original condition. It's a win-win scenario and a perfect example on how vendor collaboration can help you scale up, multiply your funds so you can invest in more property. Now let's break this down into the actionable steps you can take to apply this strategy. In an assisted sale, you partner with a vendor who is struggling to sell their property or wants a better price than they are being offered. You come in, use your expertise and sometimes a small amount of capital to enhance the property, think cosmetic refurb in that case, and once the property sells at the improved value, you split the profit with the vendor. And here's how you do it. Step 1. Identify the motivated seller who are open to collaboration. On Property Filter, it's super easy. Look for poorly presented and dated properties in nice residential areas. Step 2, check the numbers. What would you need to offer to flip the property in a traditional way with all the costs versus the vendor collab that costs you a lot less? Position the 2 offers and enter in discussion to negotiate an agreement where you'll cover the refurbishment cost or the improvement and then agree on the profit split. Typically, you can be a 50-50 split or you can negotiate a different percentage based on the level of works involved. If an agent is involved, make them do the maths. Sit down with them, ask them how much can they sell this when it's fully refurbished. Don't ask them what they think it's worth when it's refurbished because it's not quite the same question, right? Because you intend to flip the property back with them, so they get 2 sets of fees. This will do 2 things. They will be a lot more reasonable on the end value. They will be a lot more agreeable to agree a price today after taking into account all costs that has been displayed in front of them. Make sure you price the refurb with your builder if you are not familiar with pricing renovation works. You would enter into a lease option type agreement in this case, so these are best for light refurbs. I wouldn't go back to brick or do any structural works for assisted sales. Step 3, make sure you have your trusted builder lined up and get on with the works or managing the refurbs as soon as possible. Put extra care on tidying up the gardens and the front and the curb appeal. Once the works are completed or even whilst the works are ongoing, you can get the agents to market the property at its new higher value to make it ready to sell on. And the reason you do this is to capture buyers' leads. Even though they might not buy, or decide to buy right now, you can follow up with them because at step 4, this is when you finish the works, you want to organize an open day where you get 10-20 buyers on site, which you've created the demand prior to that, to create the perception of a high demand and agree a sale. After that, you and the vendor split the agreed profit. This method is highly effective because it requires less upfront capital than buying the property outright, but it still allows you to share a significant upside. If you intend to do more significant works to the property, you can enter into a JV agreement with the vendor. This is a second methodology, and the idea here is that the vendor is more committed. We'll talk about this in more details in the masterclass. And here's a pro tip: when you are negotiating an assisted sale or a vendor JV, it's crucial to protect yourself legally. Always have solid agreements in place, and if we'll cover all of this in details and the different types of documents, the different types of agreements you'll need and want to use for the different types of vendor collabs. The last thing you want is the vendor to turn around and want to move back in their house, right? So here you have it, 2 powerful techniques under the vendor collaboration umbrella: assisted sales and vendor JVs. Those strategies allow you to flip properties and multiply your cash without needing a huge investment capital. You're solving the vendor vendor's problem while simultaneously creating profitable opportunities for yourself. In our upcoming masterclass, Hanif, who's done way in excess of 500 deals, will be taking you on an even deeper dive into the vendor collaboration strategy, the exact steps he's used and that I see other Property Filter members use right now. He'll be walking you through real-life example on how to find motivated vendors and how to negotiate and structure these agreements to protect yourself and show you how you can fund and exceed them. If you want to learn exactly how to use vendor collaboration to grow your property business and flip properties successfully, make sure you register for our masterclass. We'll be running 3 sessions, so there's a time that works for everyone. 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, and 1 midday. Don't miss out. Register now using the link below. In our next video, we'll be covering the third and final strategy in this series, which is on the third level of the wealth creation ladder, all about passive cash stacking and the benefits of buy-to-lease strategy. Stay tuned and don't forget to secure your spot on the masterclass.